Good morning, welcome to 2024. This is the first Friday reading vlog of 2024. Few new bits, but we're starting in bed as we always do. And I've just made myself a cup of tea in a new mug I got for Christmas from my sister-in-law. This is Girl Power, and it's got this young lady on it. And I'm going to be sitting here and reading a little bit of Stolen by Anne Helen Lestadius. Potentially could get this finished today, although today is a very, very busy day. So yeah, need to crack on, but not quite yet. Quite now is for reading. So just going to sit here and read for a little bit, and then I'll join you in the lounge for Friday reading vlog discussions. My hair looks nice, doesn't it? Haven't I got a lovely new dressing gown on? This was my Christmas present from David. The dressing gown I had, David's mum had got me. It was lovely. I mean, I'm still wearing it. It was like a sort of fleecy type material, like a soft type material. I mean, it had constellations on it. It was from Next, I would say about 8 years ago, and the constellations had all faded. And yeah, it was navy and lovely. But since forever, I've wanted a toweling robe, a robe made out of toweling, so that when you get out the shower or when you get out of the bath, you can pop it on and you can feel like you're drying, rather than when you put on those sort of fleecy dressing gowns, you don't feel like that, do you? I feel like the wet stays under. So yeah, so I got this gorgeous dressing gown from John Lewis for Christmas, and I bloody love it. But here we are, ready to chat books. So, like I've already said, it's 2024. We're starting off the Friday reading vlogs. A lot is staying for the Friday reading vlogs. I'll be reading. It will be a vlog. We're going to stick with the lit chat questions. We're going to stick with a poem for every day at the end. But there's a few other things. So I've still got my reading challenge book from last year, which isn't completely complete, but hoping to get that done. But also differences this year, I guess, are that Jen, lovely wonderful Jen, for my birthday made me a little reading challenge box with little gifts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in here. Read a book picked by David, either he bought it or just selected, or just selected from your TBR. Read a book that fits with the season and make a seasonal snack or meal to go with it. I mean, all of these are lovely, aren't they? Read a book you heard a recommendation on a podcast. Read one of the shortest books on your TBR. Read an arc. Read a book in translation. Oh, I'm actually doing that now. Read one of the longest books on your TBR. And read a book that was on another booktuber's best books of the year list. Oh, 2 more, sorry. Read one of the oldest books on your TBR, either you've had it for ages or it was published a long time ago. And read a book by an author whose work you have loved before. Do you know what? I'm not going to be doing this every week, but but I think I will do it today. And instead of doing it when I start the books, I'm going to do it when I finish the books. So if I finish today Stolen, you've already seen I've been reading this, by Anne Helen Lestadius, then I will open up the reading translation little bag of presents. This is translated by Rachel Wilson Broyles from the Swedish, and I'm having a great time reading it. I would say lovely, but there's some really not lovely stuff in here. So that's one thing that will be new this year, sort of reading challenge. And 2 other things are that I want to do a bit of baking. So I've always maintained that I'm a good home cook and can follow a recipe very well. I'm getting much better at sort of pulling things together if I haven't got a recipe, or making things when I've made a recipe before and sort of maybe adding a little bit of myself, and I am getting better at that. But baking has always been something that I've fallen short of. Wherever I've lived over the years, I've always blamed it on the ovens and stuff like that, but I don't think it is the oven. I think it might be me. But I have got, and have made very little from, the Sweet Roasting Tin by Rukmini Iyer. The green roasting tin is my Bible. I cook from it. In fact, I'm cooking something from it for dinner tonight. But I thought it would be nice to make my way through this book, cooking various bits from it when I do a Friday reading vlog. David and I are on a big money saving mission this year, and we've decided to sort of cut back on presents, Christmas presents and birthday presents. Christmas, she's thinking about Christmas already, it's January. So we think this year we're going to be maybe making people some cakes and doing a bit of cross stitch for them and stuff like that. So I'll be cooking from this, hopefully, every time I do a Friday reading vlog. And also I'll be cooking for this as the year goes by for people's birthdays and things. But the first thing, so I've literally started with recipe number 1 for today, is a cherry and almond cake, and it's a tray bake. Now, I made quite a few tray bakes during lockdown. There was one in a Jack Monroe cookbook that I made, mango and white chocolate, and I made it basically every week, and it was almost, I couldn't get it wrong. So let's hope I can't get this wrong. And David and I are going to the cinema tonight. There's so much happening today. David and I are going to the cinema tonight to watch The Boy and the Heron. That's at 5:45. So I would like to make this in time so that we can take it with us. And I've got a flask that my mum got me for my birthday, and I'll take my flask with me, and we'll have a cup of tea and a bit of cake when we're watching the film, which I thought would be lovely, and saving on not buying snacks there. Or pizza is what I normally buy there, which is also helping out the old cholesterol. So yeah, so I will make this. I'm waiting on a Tesco delivery today. That's something else that's happening. That's coming between 10 and 11. So after that's arrived, I can do that. So that will be happening. And then baking as the year goes by. And hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be a bit better at it, or at least know where I've been going wrong. And then I got this book for my birthday from David's mum. This is Year of Wonder, and it's a piece of classical music for every day by Clemency Burton Hill. And she picks a piece of classical music for every day, gives you a little chat about it, and you can listen to it. And David and I have been very much getting into classical music. This started happening over a year ago, like on our mini moon. Where the room we were staying in had Classic FM on, and yeah, we were just having a lovely time listening to it. And we've listened to it all last year and feel like we're getting a little bit more into it, but we didn't really know where to start with classical music, and I thought this would be quite a good place to start. So I think on a Friday we'll be listening to a piece of music and maybe just talking about how it made us feel or how it made me feel. I'll also let you know what the piece of music is, and then you can pause this video and go and listen to it, and yeah, we can do this together. So a few things to do together. And the last thing is that I've reduced my amount of videos that I put up every week. So I was doing 3 last year, but I've gone down to 2, which should be definitely maintainable throughout the year. So Wednesday and Sunday videos are going up, which means that these Friday reading vlogs can last a little bit longer. So you'll know that last year a few Friday reading vlogs went into Saturday, some went into Sunday, but I'm sort of encouraging that a bit this year so that I don't feel like it's all rushed to fit into one day. It means that I can then go on to the next day and do that. And I'm also thinking that these Friday reading vlogs are going to be quite long form. I very much enjoyed, second mention for Jen, watching Jen's reading vlogs, which are always roughly about an hour. And within those vlogs I'll be including like lots of different aspects, so not only just talking about books, but the baking and the classical music and the question and stuff like that. So yeah, let's talk about the books that I'm going to be reading today, and then let's get a question, and then shower. I want to be showered by the time the Tesco delivery gets here, really, and it could be in 20 minutes. So yeah, right, so I'm already talking about Stolen by Anne Helen Lestadius. I am about 50 pages from the end of this, so there is a chance I could get it done, but like I say, busy day today, and we'll talk you through the day in a bit. This is a book about well, starts with a child, Elsa, and she witnesses one of her reindeer. She's part of the Sami people who live in North Sweden, whose lives are devoted to looking after reindeer and trading in reindeer and reindeer meat and things like that. And she witnesses one of her young reindeer being murdered, brutally murdered, and sees who does it. And then you're following her sort of like childlike fears of having seen the man who did it, and will he come back for her and stuff like that, but all the time learning about the Sami people from a child's point of view and all of this loveliness. Then we skip 10 years and Elsa's a young woman, and she's still very much involved in the reindeer, and you're hearing about what that's like for a young woman to be involved in what was previously considered as man's work, and probably is still considered as man's work. And the bastard who killed her reindeer has still been continuing to kill reindeer in a racist attacks against the Sami people, and now she's sort of had enough and wants to do something about it. But yeah, I very much enjoyed it. What I will say is that there is huge trigger warnings for animal cruelty, both towards reindeers and towards dogs. But yeah, I feel like it's been very, very interesting and a great first book of the year. So I'm really pleased this was my first book of the year. And if I get this finished today, then great news. I'm also reading, but mainly listening to the audiobook of, ready for this front cover, Tackle by Jilly Cooper. Never read a Jilly Cooper before. This is the book that we are reading for my choir book club. I picked it myself. I can't blame anyone else. But I thought it would be quite a bit of fun to read something like this. I am 100 pages in-ish, 95 pages in. It's quite long, but I've been, like I said, it's just over 400 pages left, so I'm about a quarter of the way through. And I've been mainly listening to the audiobook, which is, I've been enjoying it. It's narrated by Catherine Parkinson from the IT Crowd, is that her name? And I've seen her in other stuff as well, Sherlock and Taskmaster. But I have picked up a few chapters of this, so I think I'll continue to listen to the audiobook of it today. But yeah, it reminds me very much of sort of like Jackie Collins, in that there's loads, and I used to read a bit of Jackie Collins when I was younger, loads and loads of characters, very plotty, but like loads and loads of characters and loads of plot. So to go from something that is sort of like very, although I feel like I would still feel like this about this even if I wasn't reading this, just feels a bit fast paced. Also, I don't think the depiction of women is nice or even like neutral in this book. There's a lot of depiction of wags, which are wives and girlfriends of footballers, and they're just depicted as sort of like thicko, stupid, out for themselves women. And yeah, all the sort of like work on background of characters goes in to the men. There's also one of our main characters is Taggy, and she's going through chemotherapy at the moment, and yeah, so it sort of flies wildly from like women being these dumb bitches to being these sort of like dying saints. So yeah, I think this might be the only Jilly Cooper that I ever read, but hey, we'll continue with it. I've got to continue with it. It's a book club book. I'm much more generous with myself now in terms of like DNFing books, not finishing books, but when it's a book club book that I've set, obviously I want to have read it so that I can give a whole picture when I'm asking questions and running the book club. So we'll continue to listen to that, and then if I do finish Stolen, then I would like to start the book that David got me for Christmas, which is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, which is the first in a series about a sort of time travelling cafe. And yeah, I would like to start that, but that's only if I get that done. So let's pick a question, then I'll just tell you about the busyness of the day. If you are new here, hi. We pick a question at the beginning. I pick a question at the beginning of each of these Friday reading vlogs, and is that all of them? And then we answer it together at the end of the Friday reading vlog. So you guys can answer in the comments and I'll answer here. So there's 100 questions here. That's not true. Yeah, there is 50 questions, sorry, 50 cards, and each of them have got 2 questions on. So we've been doing this since September 2021, and we're now down to this before we have to go back through the questions, answering the second question. But let's go. So we're going to go for Everything I Never Told You. And the question is, do you have a favourite book title? What do you like about it? Do you have a favourite book title? What do you like about it? So there we go. We will answer that at the end of the vlog. Now, sometimes when I ask the questions aloud, a book comes to me instantly, or a scenario comes to me instantly. Nothing is coming to me instantly, so I need to have a good old think about that. Do you have a favourite book title? What do you like about it? But looking forward to answering that. Right, so today's plan. So I've got a Tesco delivery coming in any time from 11 minutes to an hour and 11 minutes. I must paint my nails, they're disgusting. I've got to wear a blue outfit today because I'm currently in the throes of January, and loads of projects going on. I'm currently in the throes of January, where I'm wearing a different colour from the rainbow, plus sort of patterns and stuff for the first 10 days. I've also started, and there'll be more on this, but I've started a separate Instagram account called Lauren Dot and the Looks, where I'm wearing a different outfit for the whole of 2024, different outfit every day, without buying anything new. So just shopping from my wardrobe and maybe eventually buying a few secondhand things, but yeah, without buying anything new. And yeah, I'm 4 days into it. So today I've got to wear something blue. I'm also recording an episode of All About the Archers, which is a podcast I do. Gosh, she's got some side hustles, this girl, hasn't she? Which is a podcast about the Archers, which is a radio soap that's been running for, I think, 75 years. But today we're interviewing, very excitingly, we're interviewing the actor Susie Riddell, who plays Tracy Horrobin, who's one of my favourite characters in the Archers. So that's at 12:45. Also want to make the cake. Also, maybe need to wash my hair. Don't know. Also, we're going to the cinema, as I said, to watch a film at 5:45 today. The Boy and the Heron, which is I think it's Studio Ghibli. The Boy and the Heron. I don't think it is Studio Ghibli, but it says Mojito, it's an anime. Anime? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Mojito, a young 12-year-old boy, struggles to settle in a new town after his mother's death. However, when a talking heron informs Mojito that his mother is still alive, he enters an abandoned tower in search of her, which takes him to another world. So there we go. So we're going to watch that. And I'd like to have the cake ready to take with me, so cooked and cooled. And I would also like to have prepared dinner, so I'm making a dinner from the green roasting tin today. It's a Brussels sprout and halloumi type thing, and I'm going to have it with wraps. So what I like about the green roasting tin is you can just chop and get everything in there, and then you can pop that in the fridge, and then when you get home you can just put it in the oven. So I'd like to get that all prepped, ready to go. And there was something else. Was there something else? Oh, put Christmas away. So we've got the trees up, but everything else seems to be being put away. But yeah, the plan is to get Christmas put away, but that could leak into tomorrow. So yeah, so mainly the jobs need doing today, but like I said, this vlog may very well leak into tomorrow. But I'm going to get on because I've been chatting for 16 minutes now. So I think, are you making me a cup of tea, David?
Yeah.
I think I'll drink my cup of tea whilst reading a bit more of Stolen, and then I'll get in the shower. Or if not, my Tesco delivery would have arrived. Big day. Waiting for my tea. I think I do this too often, where I paint my nails, this time in Barry M's Orchid, and then actually have to do stuff. But the stuff I'm doing, so it's 11 o'clock. I'm in my blue. I love this blue. I think it's like cornflower blue. This is one of the jumpers I got from Stitch Fix, RIP. It's from French Connection. I have it in green, stripy, yellow. I think I've got it in pink as well. And it's just a very nice wearable jumper. But anyway, it's 11 o'clock, and in an hour and 45 minutes, I'm jumping online to record the interview with the actor who plays Tracy Horrobin McCreary, because Tracy recently married Jazza McCreary. And I can't get a pencil out of my... Can she get one out without smudging her nail varnish? Oh, she might have done. So I'm just going to write down some questions. So I love doing these interviews because it's really exciting to speak to the actors who play these parts and have played these parts for years and learn a bit of the history, because I've only been listening for like 8 years. And yeah, it's just great fun. But I always get a bit nervous when it comes to questions, so I like to be very prepared for the questions. So I have a question that I'm ready to... I've got 2 questions, but I'd like to have 3, maybe 4, just in case Quentin or Philippa doubles up or our questions are similar. And then we have a whole host of questions from the Facebook group as well. So yeah, it's very fun. But I'm going to do that now. Oh no. Oh no, we're okay. We lived. I'm going to do that now. And that shouldn't take too long. Right in. I've just finished. I put on another jumper because I was cold. I've just finished Stolen. Hurrah! So well done me. So I will open my little read a translated fiction book, but I'll do that at the end of this vlog when I wrap everything up. So excited and very much enjoyed this a lot. I'm going to wrap it up, and I've just had a slice of Marmite on toast. And also Daphne came and ate a bit of that while I was opening the door, because our who gives a crap delivery of toilet roll arrived, even though David told me we didn't need it. I forgot to cancel it. So we're drowning in toilet paper here. And Daphne was eating a bit of my Marmite and toast. Delicious. So I've got me All About the Archers mug, me All About the Archers hoodie, and I'm going to start recording the podcast in half hour. So I think I'll wrap up my reading on my Instagram and maybe make myself another cup of tea. Oh, Daphne's being so cute down there. Oh, I've just got off the interview. I've had these headphones on for over an hour and I felt like they were really intensely pushing on my brain. But the interview went amazing. Yeah, it was really fun. And Philippa's going to send me through everything now, and I'm going to edit that, and that's got to go live tomorrow morning at 9:30, so it'll already be up. So if you'd like to go and watch it, I will link it down below. If you're into the Archers, it's an interview with Susie Riddell, who plays Tracy Horrobin, who is one of my favourite characters. One of your favourite characters, David?
Yeah, Tracy.
Yeah, we like Tracy and Jazza a lot, and actually we like Chelsea and Brad as well, don't we, David?
Certainly do. We
like the whole Horrobin family. Yeah, so I've got to go and make that cake now, because it's going to need time to cook and cool. So shall I meet you in the kitchen and we can make that cake? Okay, bye. Hiya! So today, cherry and almond cake. So when I sold this to my husband David, he maintains that the only cakes he likes are Victoria sponges and chocolate cake, David?
No, mainly Victoria sponge.
Or like chocolate fudge cake. Yeah, but I'm not making you one of them. So when I had to sell this to him, I sort of sold him under a, this is like a Bakewell tart cake, because he does like Bakewell tarts. So it's a cherry and almond cake. And I mean, that is what's in Bakewell tarts, cherry and almond.
Is it?
Yes! So yeah, so that's what we're going to make. So I'm not going to take you with me for the whole thing. I think I'm basically just going to crack on with it. But this is what the finished article should look like. It takes 15 minutes to prep and 30 to 35 minutes to cook. So then by the time it's cooled, I'm very, very excited, David, about the thought of a slice of cake and a cup of tea in the cinema tonight. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
I can take my flask, and if you bring a cup, you could have a cup of tea too, unless you like sharing my cup of tea.
No, because you don't put a sweetener in.
I don't. So here we go. Does it look nice?
Yeah, you should put icing on top like a Bakewell tart.
No icing. Well, they're not very, they haven't made the shape of the thing very well, as in like they're not square, but I think they'll be good slices. I'm just going to check that it is cooked throughout. Yep. And yep. They look quite good actually. I can turn the oven off now. So I did them in two separate things because I didn't have the measurements and I just didn't think so. They look like this. But where I haven't made it particularly straight around the edges, it's not going to be particularly square. But it says to leave it for 5 minutes and then to take it out and cut. And it says to have at room temperature or warm. So I think after 5 minutes, I'll take them out. Then I think I might leave them another 5 minutes, then cut them and make a cup of tea. And then we'll have one bit now. And then maybe one bit when we're at the cinema. 2 lots of cake in one day. Nice. Here we go.
Taste
I'm quite pleased with how it looks.
It's a lovely looking cake, bub.
I'm not a baker, am I, David?
No.
It's nice. I wouldn't say it tastes like a Bakewell tart, but it's nice.
Okay.
Quite oily. I don't know why it's so oily.
You put oil in?
No. oily. Oily is the wrong word, but it's lovely.
Yeah.
Cheers to me. Onwards.
Cheers.
It's a lime and chocolate cake next week. I thought you liked chocolate cake.
I don't love it. What about chocolate and orange?
It's lime and chocolate. But you never know. You might find new things you like.
No big. Not lime though.
Oh god, this is nice.
Mmm.
I like the crunchy top.
Mmm. I like it when a cake's warm.
And the cherries inside are nice.
So we can warm it up at the cinema.
No. Mmm. Right, I think I might start my book, David.
Alright.
The one you bought me.
Oh! That is exciting.
Before the coffee gets cold.
And then carry on listening to you. Here we go, book.
Why? Oh, well I've got to, but right now. The cake was lovely. It really was lovely. And the good thing about cooking it in something like this, I guess, although I don't want to put it on yet because it's still warm, is that I can just put a lid on that and that'll be airtight. But these are the two bits we're going to take to the cinema tonight. Along with a cup of tea. But what I do need to do is make the dinner to go in the oven for tonight. Like I said, it's out of the green roasting tin. And it's Brussels and halloumi, spinach and broccoli. This is what I'm going to make next time, by the way. Chocolate lime truffle cake. That sounds exciting, doesn't it? So that will do that next time we do a Friday reading vlog. So yeah, so we're having spicy harissa sprouts and broccoli with halloumi, spinach and couscous. Oh, there's no couscous on here. No, none at all. I mean, I don't have any, but yeah, that's weird that that's on there. I think it's a misprint. And then we're going to have that with flatbreads. So I'll put the lid with that. So I'm going to get that all prepped. It says it takes 10 minutes. My chopping, despite one of my only, well, that's not true, but one of my skills in the kitchen being chopping, I imagine this will take me more than 10 minutes. But we need a head of broccoli and 500 grams of sprouts, broccoli, 250 grams of halloumi, 225 we'll just have to do, harissa, I've got some harissa in here, well that's just hot though, harissa, there's harissa, I think at one point I had rose harissa as well, olive oil, oh I haven't got all that much olive oil left, I've got some, I should have got some of that in my shopping, spinach, some salt and half a lemon. And I'm just going to chop and put it in my trusty baker that I do all of these recipes in. From Pampered Chef. And then this serves 4, so the leftovers David and I can have for lunch tomorrow. And that means when I get home from the cinema, it will be ready there to put in the oven for 25 minutes. Beautiful. I'm going to listen to more, she says as she rolls her eyes, of tackle. Oh, hello, happy Saturday. We've had it's been quite a nice sort of fruitful Saturday, wouldn't you say, David?
Productive.
I've been out for a lovely long walk with my friend Emma, and then David joined us for a little tats, didn't you, David? And got lots of steps in, so I've done 14,561 steps today. Hurrah, hurrah, because apart from day 1 of my walking challenge that I'm doing at the moment, where I'm trying to do 1 million steps in 100 days, I hadn't done over 10,000 steps apart from day 1, so pleased that I've done over 10,000 steps today. And the day is but still young, it's 20 to 5, so I've still got dinner to make and a few more bits to do. But we've also taken down Christmas and we've had a bit of a rearrange, so the table's back in the little bay window, and we can get to my books a bit more, and feels quite nice, doesn't it?
It always does.
It always does feel nice to get rid of. As much as we love having Christmas up, it just feels very nice. And David's over there playing FIFA, and I've just uploaded my video for tomorrow because I'm a bit silly, because I'm now do all the editing for my All About the Archers podcast. When I uploaded my Christmas book haul video, which is going up on Sunday, so it'll be up by the time you're watching this, I uploaded it to the All About the Archers channel, so I need to be much better when I am doing that. But yeah, I just thought I'd have a little check-in. I don't think I'm going to end the video here. I think I'm going to film a little bit into tomorrow as well, but just to let you know, not much more has happened in terms of me reading. I've read a little bit more of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and I've come on my period today, so I think I'm gonna have a bath and read a bit more of that in the bath. And then our plan for the evening is quite relaxed, isn't it, David? We've got, oh, very nice looking Gousto dinner. I'll go and show you it. Come with me. Come with. Yeah, so look, there's the little hole where the Christmas tree was. There's my little cat over there. She's very cute. I'll just show you something that I bought David for Christmas that we've just put up new today. So we've put up a few new little bits of artwork and stuff. So here is this that I bought David, and it says, "Let's fuck off." And it's got David, me, and Daphne on it. And then also, Minnie bought this for David from Beyond the Grave. This is from Eleanor Boma, and we haven't had it up until now because we've had Christmas stuff and Halloween stuff in there, so that's quite cute as well. So yeah, there we go. Right, let's have a look and I'll show you what we've got for dinner. So, we've got this for dinner. This is what we had for dinner last night. We've got Char Swede style mushroom bao buns, Mooli, slaw and loaded fries. So yeah, that sounds... Oh! That sounds lovely, doesn't it? So we're going to have that for dinner. So I'll make that a little bit later on. And then the plans for telly are, it's sort of Saturday night telly. And we've watched, oh yeah, the film. Neither of us really loved it. It was a Studio Ghibli film called The Boy and the Heron. I just don't think, like, Studio Ghibli is for me. I find it a bit weird, a bit too weird, I think. And this film in particular was very weird. It's about a young boy whose mother has died and he moves to the country with his father and his father's new partner. And there's a heron there who's very unusual and strange and a bit grotesque. Yeah, that's a spoiler though, David, so I didn't really want to give that. Hopefully you didn't hear that. And yeah, it was just strange and felt very long, and yeah, a lot of like repetition within the film. And I just don't think it's for me. So I'm glad I watched it. And actually we're very into Jonathan Ross's podcast that he makes with his daughter Honey, called Real Talk. Oh, that's on tonight, isn't it? His movie show, although we'll be watching telly. And they love Studio Ghibli, so it was very interesting to listen to their take on the film on our drive home, because it was nice to hear people who really enjoyed it. So yeah, so I understand why people like it, but it's just not for me. So the film's fine. But tonight, so we're gonna have that for dinner, and then we're going to watch sort of some Saturday night telly, because we were gonna watch a film, but we've watched 2 films this week. And then we also want to watch the Julia Charles programme with Sarah Lancashire in. That's just coming into its 2nd series. So maybe we'll watch an episode of that, but mainly we want to watch we want to watch The Weakest Link, because it's got Rick Edwards on it, and we want to watch the new series of the Ant and Dec like quiz show thing. It's like just prime Saturday night telly basically. It's called Limitless Win. I don't think I've seen it before, but David has, so that must mean that I may have seen it. So yeah, and then maybe we'll watch an episode of the Julia Charles thing. But cross stitch will be happening and everything. But yeah, I think I'll check in tomorrow, because we're going to clear out the cupboard. I would have probably done a little bit more reading, a little bit more listening to Tackle, which I'm struggling with. And my dad's coming round to pop a mirror on the wall, which will be very nice. So yeah, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye. Happy Sunday, or period Sunday if you're me, because I came on my period yesterday. And today's is the day of pain. But I've just been for a little walk. It was going to be a longer walk, but we abandoned it because it is freezing out there, and also the beginnings of like
rain, very windy.
Yeah, so we abandoned that. Oh, David's eating his sandwich on the sofa. This is the first time.
No, it's not on the sofa.
Yeah, not on the sofa, on the chair, whilst we've got the new carpets.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. yeah, so we just, in the end, we were going to go for a really long walk, but in the end we just ended up nipping in to get a cup of tea with my sister and my niece and my brother-in-law. And then walk back because it was just so cold. So yeah, so that little walk has helped out with my period. I took some painkillers before I left. But yeah, we've had a sort of day of, my dad popped round to put a mirror up, which looks lovely. I'll show you it. Point to the mirror, David. Doesn't it look lovely? We were going to put it in the hallway. We're keeping those lights up, by the way, if you're wondering if it's still Christmas here. We've just decided that they're lovely. Yeah, we were going to put it in the hallway because it's got like a green trim, but we wanted something there, and I just think it looks bloody perfect there. Really like, yeah, I'm really pleased with it.
Cool.
Really, really pleased with it. So yeah, so I thought I'd wrap up the vlog now because David's going to spend the afternoon doing his cross stitch. I'll show you how much, he's almost finished his cross stitch, and it's absolutely, like, when did we start? You started this the 27th of December. Look how much he's done, and look how good it is. Shouldn't he be so thrilled with himself? I got him purposely something that was sort of summer related so that he would have a sort of time that he wanted to get it done by. But in no world did I think he'd have it done within 2 weeks of me getting him it. But yeah, we've got all sorts of other projects planned. I've accrued quite a lot of cross-stitch books over the years and stuff like that. So we've got quite a lot of things that we want to do. And then maybe for your birthday or for Valentine's Day or Father's Day, you might want another little kit if you're doing the kit. The kits are nice.
Absolutely love doing it.
The kits are nice. And yeah, we think we're going to keep this in its little ring and hook it somewhere, hang it somewhere, which will mean we wouldn't have to buy another one of these rings, but yeah. So yeah, so we're going to wrap up the vlog now. So David can then watch Junior Bake Off all afternoon and do his cross stitch. So a few things. There's the question to answer. Oh, before I wrap it up, there was one more thing I wanted to do, and I was thinking about the new things that I'd said that I would do in these Friday reading vlogs, and how I hadn't done one of them, and that was to listen to a piece of classical music and then just have a quick discussion about it afterwards. Well, David's been getting quite into the classical music too, so maybe you'll want to listen to it as well. So I'll put it on the...
Yeah.
So it's the 7th of January, and the piece today is Le Chemins de l'Amour, which is The Paths of Love by Francis Poulenc, who lived between 1899 and 1963. And he was born on this day, which is why we're listening to this piece of music today. He was the youngest member of a group of composers known as Les Six, which took Paris by storm in the 1920s. His music is by turns witty and melancholy, acerbic and heartbreaking. And in the early part of his career, Poulenc, who was openly gay, had a reputation for being something of a hedonistic bon vivant. But the death of a close friend in 1936 and his experiences during the French resistance in World War II took his later music into a more spiritual and profound direction. He was always an outstanding songwriter, whether dealing with parody or tragedy. You'll find sobriety and dolor in French music just as in German or Russian, he wrote in 1950. But the French have a keener sense of proportion. We realise that somberness and good humour are not mutually exclusive. Our composers too write profound music, but when they do, it is leavened with that lightness of spirit without which life would be unendurable. And in this cabaret classic, Poulenc blends the evocative vibe of the popular Parisian boulevardier with the sort of valse chantée, so many French words that I don't know what they mean, I don't know what valse chantée means, by which he'd been bewitched since his youth. It was composed as a part of an incidental music for the production of a Jean Anouilh play called L'Arcadia, written in 1940, the year German tanks rolled into Paris. It is tinged with bittersweet poignancy, the lilting charms of its melody undercut by a sense of impending loss. And in 1941, Poulenc wrote to a friend that composing the song had lifted his spirits from the menace of occupation which weighs upon my house. What a sad epoch is ours, and when and how will it all finish up? I hope it lifts your spirit. So I'm going to go, David and I are going to now go and listen to Les Chemins de l'Amour, and I will put this here so you'll be able to see it, The Paths of Love by Francis Poulenc. And then we'll come back and tell you what we thought. Done in the modern way of asking Alexa to play it for us. Well, there we go. I had a little lay down and listened to it. Oh, what did you think, David?
Yeah, it was right.
It was all right. I wasn't expecting it to have lyric. I wasn't expecting someone to be singing in it. And it was shorter than I thought. How long was it, David?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know if you could see on your phone.
4 minutes.
Oh, it felt much shorter than that. But yeah, interesting. And nice to hear a bit of music that I don't feel like I've maybe heard, and to learn a little bit about Francis Poulenc. So yeah. I think we will continue with this as the year goes by. So we've still got the question to answer, the poem to finish on, and my little treat from my books that I've read. So I think we'll answer the question first. Now, I've agonised over this question. Normally, like I said when I read it out, I have an answer to the question, an answer to it almost instantly. So the question was, do you have a favourite book title? What do you like about it? And I was trying to work out, because it's different to differentiate from a favourite book title and a favourite book. So first of all, I looked at my, because no answer came to me, I looked at my favourite books and tried to work out if there was maybe something in my favourite books that was like calling out to me, but then all I could think about was the stuff that was in the book rather than the book title. And then I looked at some of my unread books and thought about what had maybe drawn me to these titles, because of the ones I didn't particularly know. So and I think there's a few things that now I can see reflected in my favourite books as well. So I would say there's a book called A Sign of Her Own, which is out this year, and I thought, oh, what drew me to that? And I think after looking at that and then seeing other book titles on my shelves like City of Girls and Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, I thought, I think it's, or The Sea Women, it's books that have a clear allusion to a woman featuring in these books. So A Sign of Her Own, The Sea Women, Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, City of Girls. And then I had a little look at some of my favourite books and things like Rebecca, Anne of Green Gables, My Cousin Rachel, Queenie, and Her Majesty's Royal Coven, so witches. And yeah, The Other Bennet's Sister is another one. So yeah, I think it might be, I couldn't give you a favourite title, but I think things that I like to see in titles are clear allusions to women appearing in those titles. But I was also looking and thinking I quite like a one-word title, so things that aren't relating to women. So I can look here now and see that I've got one-word titles on here called Matrix, Violets, Wolf Song, Heartsick, Sugar, and I feel like Mortification, and I feel like one word is very like, oh, where's that going, where's that going? But yeah, apart from that, I couldn't really pick out a question, which I think this is the first time this has happened that I haven't been able to give you a solid answer. So do you have a favourite book title? What do you like about it? So those are some things that I like about book titles that potentially are my favourites, but there we go. So let me know your answer down below. Now, the moment I've been waiting for. So so excited to do. So a book in translation will be my first little gift I open. What I was doing when I was doing my bookish challenges before, which I will continue to do because there's still some more to finish there, is that I was getting the little prize once I'd started the book. But I think this year I'm going to get myself the little prize if I finish the book on a Friday, because there's 8, I think I counted in there, and then a few there, so I haven't got one to last me every Friday of the year. So yeah, it'll be if I finish a book, which I did. So read a book in translation, and the great news is that I finished Stolen by Anne Helen Lestadius, which is translated from Swedish, and I also started Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, which is also a book in translation, so 2 books in translation. And let's see my first little present, which I'm so excited for. I'm so excited for it. And these bags are just adorable, and they would definitely get reused. What is it? Oh my god, they're adorable. They're little wild flower pins. This is so cute. Oh, and she sent me stuff by Emma Carpenter before. David, look at those little pins. Look at these little pins. Oh, they're little nice wild flower pins. Oh, they're so cute, and they're really going to elevate some of my outfits. What a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Jen. What a lovely, lovely thing. How wonderful. So I'm going to take the tag off to remind myself of the little challenge I did, and I'm going to put that in the box so that I can remember at the end all of these lovely challenges I've done. But I'm going to keep the little bag because I've got something to do with that, I think. Maybe I'll do this off camera rather than let you sit through all this. It's done now, I don't need to do it off camera. Lovely, lovely. And then just to end on a poem. So today is the 7th of January. So the poem, because we're deep into winter now, 2 choices. Dawn by Ella Wheeler Wilcox, or St Distaff's Day, or The Morrow After 12th Day. Okay, that one's about pranks, and I don't really like pranks, so I think I'll go for Dawn by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. And it says here, Ella Wheeler Wilcox's poem Dawn casts day and night as lovers, and it is a perfect reflection on the theme of this book, a poem for every day and night of the season. Day's fondest moments are at dawn, refreshed by his long sleeps. The light kisses the languid lips of night. Ere she can rise and hasten on, all glowing from his dreamless rest, he holds her closely to his breast, and sees her dusky eyes grow dim, till lo, she dies for love of him. There we go. So thank you for joining me for first Friday reading vlog of 2024. I hope you enjoyed the new additions, the cake and the classical music and the exciting little thing. So exciting. And I'll see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye. Say bye, David.
Bye.